Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2. We're live with the finals of the Team eXoN Cup every Wednesday night. Some of the best players in North America, Europe, and Korea, and also special when he wakes up in time, compete for your money, your hearts, your minds, and your memes. We've made it to the finals. Special did not wake up in time. He's not here. Just wanted to throw that out there. Vanya versus Nina. Vanya 12 pulling his way through Cham. Nina proxy Void Ring and also not proxy Void Ring her way through Vindicta. There was a Void Ray rush and then there was a canceled Void Ray. You had to be there. Well, Jimmy, we're in the... Come on. Yes, that is true. But also, why is it... Why... You're in the game. Anyway, in the bottom left. No, stop it. In the bottom left. I swear it's live. The Protoss player on Team eXoN. One of the best Protoss in North America and definitely one of the most entertaining. It's Nina. Oh my god. And in the top right, on B100 Esports, the Russian Zerg player rushing his way through those semis. We'll see if he can finalize those efforts. It's Vanya. What? Who put the balloons down here? Whose balloons are those? Are those Nina's balloons? Whose balloons? Very important. Who has the balloons? That doesn't... No, they're not yours. You can't just claim them. Somebody put them... I want to know who's spraying. I'm pretty sure that Vanya threw them out there before he built the hatch as he was scouting for probes. Thank you, Dricket, for really narrowing it down for us here. And yes, B100 Esports is Vanya's team. Vanya is the #1 StarCraft player and also, just coincidentally, the only StarCraft player on B100 Esports. They're a newer team, but so is Team eXoN. Of course, Team eXoN has a few more players. Most likely Nina Spray. We'll have to wait for Game 2. We all know American Protoss and their spray game is top-notch. M. Canning has led the way with this. He's been advocating. He's essentially the StarCraft Banksy. An artist, but also a cultural icon. And understanding that, yes, there are sprays in SC2. And no, this isn't Counter-Strike Source. You can't upload custom ones that I know of, but there's a wide variety of options now, and they've actually increased it. Now, this is very important. This wasn't in the patch notes, but with the Void Ray buff and all that other boring stuff, you can now have three sprays at the start of the game instead of just one. So, I mean, like, that changes everything, in my opinion. But if you could have multiple and just... Anyways, also ZVP, but... It's an Oracle. Here comes the Overlord. There goes the Adept. Adept actually shades through. Drone goes into a Spore to dodge. Adept maybe trying to try to pick up a kill. No, outrunning it. Very sneaky. Gives away the position. Adept just walking the perimeter. It's not going to make it. But does drag some queens out of position. There is not a Spore Crawler at the third. That means these 3 drones are dead or close to it. No, nothing dodged there. That drone... No! Brenda, your babies! I have more. Wow, Brenda. Jesus. No. Me. Okay, we get it. Spray's going through creep as well. How imbalanced is that? Anyways. Now that we've gotten all the formalities out of the way, the mid-game we're flirting with now. We're not quite there yet. It does appear we're going to make it past the 4.5-minute mark, which is more than we can really say for the semifinals in most of those games. Nina and Vanya, both with third bases secured, both building up to mid-game tech. We got +1 melee attack from Vanya. He's also got a lair nearly complete. And Nina opting for the third nexus. She's got a robotics facility is done. Where's the Twilight? Is there going to be a Twilight? Because now is the time. Nina is about to have enough gas to make a decision. Is it going to be just like an Immortal Sentry play, which when you're in... Oh, was that 2 Adepts? Yeah, 2 more Adepts went down. Baneling Nest built on their graves, or whatever it is that Adepts do when they just become a bunch of sparks. No higher level of tech yet for Nina. The Hydra Den is already done. Vanya's at 63 drones. Going with range first, though. Usually, if there's going to be an attack early, you opt for the speed upgrade first. I really thought that was going to hit more than 1 drone, but that was the most efficient defense against a stasis ward besides just killing it. But yeah, if you're going to go for an early attack, you go for the speed upgrade, which significantly increases the Hydra mobility off creep. But range is more of a defensive upgrade. Obviously, you want range eventually, if possible. Phoenix is scouting, spots the Hydra Den upgrading. I believe it also spotted the... No, did not see the Baneling Nest, but it's almost implied. Well, Oracle's not bad against Hydras. Picks off 1, finds a drone. There's more where that came from. Great Oracle Micro, but... Wow, great Oracle Micro. Gets a few freebies, a Hydra, a few drones, and gets out. Very important. You don't want to be replacing those Oracles, though they are key with Revelation and Stasis Ward later on. Pretty much, if you lose one of those Oracles, you're stuck with just Revelation, but Stasis Ward can save or win the game in the right scenario. It's unreliable, of course, but, like, you don't actively not want it, which is a sentence that you can actively say, but you shouldn't, because now I'm feeling increasingly dumb. Anyways, Templar Archives, wall off on the high ground. Nina probably going out for the 4th now. The 4th base not scouted yet from Nina. Vanya's got the 4th lockdown. Baneling speed is on the way. A passive game. It is Eternal Empire, the macro map, as they say. Fourth, I guess we're just gonna pretend for a while. Now the question will be from Vanya. Well, he's gonna go Baneling drops, as we got Overlord speed, we got +2 melee attack, those one-shotting probe potential. Storm is on the way from Nina. She's got charge on the way as well. How many gates? We're looking at 8. I wouldn't be surprised if that number increases soon. And of course the balloons. Okay. Nina's balloons. But we'll see if that Bloons tower defense will be enough to keep the 4th alive. Banelings, hit the rocks. Ah! Noob. We are obligated to make fun of him, even if it was only 1 Baneling. It is known. Meanwhile, plenty of Immortals. A lot of sentries. Where are the Baneling drops? Are there any Dropper Lords out there? I believe there's one. There's one on the way now. Working out to each side. Those Baneling drops can end the game almost. At least eviscerate the economy so much you're forced into an awkward position. Vanya has 1,600 gas. And he's got a Spire nearly complete. Where is that Spire? It's at the back of the main. Nina scouted it. What is the response? +1 air weapons. A preemptive force field. There are no roaches. There are no ravagers. There's no way around that force. Well, there's no way through that force field, I guess, more accurately. Yeah, those zealots really want to get in there, but this is not the time for role-playing the Legacy of the Void trailer. Now is the time for doing practical strategies, like making, I don't know, more than 1 Archon. 12 mutas on the way, but Nina ready to match them with Phoenixes. 17. Okay, that is a dangerous amount. That is a startling number of mutas. Banelings rolling in. So far, Vanya really been able to take advantage of the 4th base, but here comes some Zealots to drag things back. The upgrades right now, +1 against +2. The Zerglings will deal with it, but this drags most of the Zerg army back. Nina has a great amount of supply. The only danger here is a few bad Baneling connections, or the Mutas hitting an awkward angle at an awkward time, which is kind of what Mutas do. Meanwhile, okay, that happened. Muta's heading towards the 3rd. A couple cannons, a Templar. The defenses are ready. There's a War Prism on the left side. Vanya adding on the Infestation Pit. The Hive is a long way off, whereas the Fleet Beacon is halfway done. Which means Vanya, if he doesn't get something done with the Mutas, this has not been incredibly cost-effective. Oh, Banelings working their way through, but the Immortals catch a hold of them well before they can be dangerous. The Mutas plus a handful of Stalkers. You rarely get an opportunity to be this proactive against Mutalists. But here, Vanya finds himself matched, or overmatched, by Phoenixes and Stalkers. As the rest of the unit's looking for an opportunity. Stasis Ward zones out. Every second counts right now. Nina needs to consolidate this army and put together an attack, ideally at 200 supply, before Vanya gets Hive Tech out. Vipers are dangerous. Lurkers aren't actually on the table. 18 probes aren't either after Banelings roll in towards the 4th. I'm not sure where they came from. I think they slipped in. This is the only place. You can't. It doesn't work from the high ground, right? Like, no. There's no way. There are 13 Corruptors on the way, but there's no Greater Spire as +1 air attack is on the way. It's not going to be. Well, one, a Hive isn't done. That might be part of it. But also +1 air attack, technically. Is there detection here? Yep, there's an observer alongside the army. Now the question will be, how do these players kill each other? I think Vanya has a more direct path. I don't think Nina can really fight this much Zerg on the open field. Stasis Ward's doing a pretty good job. One Oracle targeted down, the other one pulled back. Storms from the high ground, melting the Banelings before they can close the distance. But at the same time, Corruptors melting the natural base. Banelings make it through on top of the Immortals and Archons, but less than fragile units. The natural is gone, which is one of the weirder scenarios we could possibly be in here. So, how many Corruptors died? 3 Corruptors died for the second Nexus. I'd say that's worth it. Though, Nina still has a solid hold on her 4th. Vanya hasn't really taken any damage, though. This is the real story. It's not so much about whether or not that was worth it in a vacuum, but considering Vanya has 5-6 bases, 2 rich Vespene bases, thank you very much. 2,000 more income per minute, and a lot of that is in gas, which is very valuable at any stage, but especially here as we're going for late game units. Another Baneling drop is coming in. How does Nina actually strike back? How does this end? There's an Ultralisk Cavern, a Greater Spire, 23 Banelings, Adrenal Glands, and every other Platinum Zerg's dream in the production tab. Meanwhile, some Banelings try to come in, 4 probe kills. The Corruptors can't recall, but the Phoenixes can slice them out of the sky. Banelings everywhere, but the probes have evaded destruction. All of the Corruptors are now dead, so good luck with those Broodlords, even if you've made your Spire great again. Oh, the Storm kills the Observer, unfortunately. But there's so many Phoenixes, they could just kill the Hydras and the Baneling. You gotta be careful with the Banelings because they do damage underneath. Meanwhile, Zerglings into the natural, ripping through a cannon. Stalkers are no match. Those are they don't have Adrenal Glands yet, but they're very close. They're doing plenty of damage. Stalkers, not your Zergling counter. Neither are Phoenixes. There's gonna need to be some more. This is maybe the time for Dark Templar. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes are kind of just picking at whatever the hell they want up. Do you even lift, Nina? Yes. Yes, she does, to the Hydra's dismay. Viper's on the way. 20 Hydras, but they're disjointed. The rallies are coming from all sorts of hatcheries here. There's not that much energy left on the Phoenixes. Enough to lift, but you don't want to actually lose them. So far, only 3 Phoenixes have been lost. Well, that's about to change. Meanwhile, heading towards the main, we'll see essentially the entire Hive tech tree. Especially if the Viper comes up. Brenda! Why were you over there? The Hydras are dragged back into the main. 3 Banelings may do more damage than all the Banelings before them. Nina looking away. 7, What? Okay, 7. 7 probes. It could have been a lot worse. More queens lifted up. Both players nearly maxed, but neither... Oh, no. What Prism? You're not a Phoenix! Okay, well, now you're not anything. So this is kind of an awkward scenario. Vanya can't really... We're continuing to be in this scenario where Vanya can't really attack because the Phoenix count is too high. Any non-committed attacks will just get isolated and killed. Whereas Nina has so many Phoenixes, she can't actually effectively kill much. But I guess we're base trading because, oh, beautiful storms. The Banelings kill a few Zealots here. This base, the Zerglings ripping through. Recall for defense. What's coming back? Most of the army. It was actually too large. Great stasis acts as a pseudo force field. A few Zealots this time. Okay, now it's trailer time. Let's do that. The Nexus itself is still intact. Overcharge helping out. Full energy Vipers, but caught before they can get any parasitic bombs off. Suddenly Vanya driven back. Now those Banelings are still dangerous. The Zealots are warped in. Oh, a parasitic bomb. Only one Phoenix. Well, obviously only one Phoenix affected, but split off. Doing a lot less than critical damage. 14 probes died during this. Still 190 supply apiece. 6 Ultralisks on the way, which is an ultra risk in my opinion almost every time they're ever built. But we will see how many Immortals on the field. There are 4. And important, Phoenixes can't lift buildings. And they can't lift massive units. You're not going to be lifting Ultras. You're not going to be lifting Hatches. You're not going to be lifting your mother. None of these things are in the cards right now. So the Phoenixes, with 40 supply committed, are not really going to be able to do anything against the Ultras. Everything else, though, is on the table. Plus 3 air weapons. Without a single carrier, what am I watching? Ultras versus Phoenixes? That's not like they can't even fight each other. They literally can't fight each other. There is no way for them to attack one another. Well, we'll find out. Ultras chopping into the Archons. Banelings rolling in the back. Phoenixes taking what they can. Shield battery overcharge. Vanya dips 50 supply. Nina, not so much. The units lost, starting to look really rough for the Russian Zerg. Down twice as many resources lost, including nearly 3 times as much gas. Cost efficiency barely describes it here, as Nina rewrites the book on what that means. Ultras, not the choice. I'm not sure what the choice was, but Ultra's definitively not the choice. As Nina gets 4 bases and locks it down. There was no decisive winning fight for Nina. At least an attack, more accurately. But also, she never lost one. So at the end of the day, when you're going for Lisks and Lings, you don't really have, like, you're on a clock. You're spending a lot in trying to leverage that huge economy. Leverage the huge economy in order to win the game. But when you're met with, like, the Mutas slapped down, the Banelings deflected, the Zerglings dealt with, the Hydras lifted, eviscerated, and eliminated, the Ultras held, and Nina victorious. But that's just game 1. Death aura. And those speed zones. Well, we said we were ready. Somebody's supposed to start this game. I had a whole that was a dramatic conclusion and summary. So I'll take this to... Check out Tantalizing Terrariums on Instagram. you can check out the match arena. I'm sure Jimmy on this YouTube video, which you've already liked and subscribed to, Jimmy has linked in the description Dricket's Patreon and more info about the sponsors of the amazing Team eXoN Cup, which you can participate in every Wednesday, and you have a better chance of wasting pro players' time than you do in the ESL Cup on Mondays, because not as many players sign up or wake up in time for it. Little do they know, they have a much better chance of winning some real money thanks to you. Why do they stop switching the covers of the players? Stop it. At least it's not a mere... Why? Why? Ah!
Why?
It's not even like they switched red and blue. They're just completely different. I don't know if that's worse. It feels worse. Was Nina yellow in the last one? I think so. Vanya wasn't. Was Vanya orange? Wait. They're the same, and I'm the one. Wait. I don't know anything anymore. I don't care. Just move on. These are the important questions that I ask. Not about how do you actually deal with that unit. No, boring. Can someone go 3 minutes ago? And we need answers. So, but to go back to the last game, and not as we were mentioning, but how do you deal with that? Like, I think the answer is lurkers. And yes, infestors. Also, I think a key moment, lurker, infestor, broodler. You might be like, well, isn't that the boring old school turtle unit composition? Yes. Yes, it is. Because you're not finding a weakness. Nina doesn't have that weakness once she gets those 4 bases up. She scouted the Spire. That was the big play. The big play was, surprise, mutas! I'm sure you've all seen that play before. 1 out of 5 on Amazon. But when you're actually prepared for them, and you can micro those Phoenixes while doing anything else, the mutas aren't as scary as they're made out to be. And then, it wasn't so much that the mutas did nothing. It was that the corruptors, okay, they killed the second Nexus, but then they all died. The Greater Spire had started. The corruptors then died, and no Broodlords were built. I think that's a key point. And even though there were that many Phoenixes with those great upgrades, if you have Hydras underneath, and you have Infestors and or Vipers to help protect Broodlords, I'm not saying that's the army you need to win the game, but that's the army you need to not lose. Otherwise, the big weakness of the Phoenix army is it doesn't have much stopping power on the ground. So if you have a dozen Broodlords well protected, that ground army isn't going through there. They're going to need to be carriers or mothership, or at least focusing more on like zealot run-bys and stuff like that. So. Phoenix first, Stargate semi-hidden on the edge of the base. It will be hidden right up until the Phoenix starts attacking something, which will then give away, believe it or not, the Stargate. I'm a master sleuth. Can we just take a moment and think about how the word sleuth isn't dirty, but it definitely is. I'm just saying. Anyways, both adepts die. More Phoenixes on the way. Now, the first Phoenix is pretty standard. Building 4 Phoenixes is enough to lift and kill a queen. The gamble here, the slight gamble, it's not like everything rides on this, I'm all in! No. Calm down. You're not expecting more than 1 Phoenix. The 1 Phoenix is customary, but you might not have, like, your queens might be a little out of position, maybe you pick off a few more drones. That's about it. There's a Twilight Council. There's a Robo. There's a... Robo? What? There's no Robo. There's a third. I'm sorry. I apologize. I misspoke. Glaives? Is this Glaives? Are you just gonna do Glaives? 50 Shades with Glaives? Yeah. Here we go. I don't know why this is a Robo, by the way, but just roll with it. I always do. And, finally, even with our shitty knitting needles. Knitting needles, rather. The queens have been looking for replacements for their -1 range knitting needles ever since the nerf. So many oracles and phoenixes have escaped what would have been certain demise just a few months ago. That's a Nidus. That's what a Nidus looks like. It's time to get some IT networking here and try to figure out the best way to put together a victory. And I don't think this is a bad call, especially like this many queens with roaches against someone who's going for a third and adepts. Without a Void Ray as well, like another important point is without a Void Ray, the actual killing of the Nidus Worm itself is going to be difficult. Well, Nina sees it immediately.
No, God! No, God, please!
It's gonna pop out. The Phoenixes can't lift the Nidus. Here come the Glaive to Depths, but here come the Queens! The whole crew's here! The Queens popped out! A few of them lifted, but that means the Phoenixes aren't actually whittling down this army. One gets taken out, more lifted, but the Roaches are fighting heads up. It's not clear exactly what's happening underneath, but Roaches, Glaive to Depths or not, it doesn't matter, as the Glaive to Depths don't do very much against those armored Roaches. Here come the Queens. Revenge! Brenda! What are you doing? Vengeance! GG! That was a great choice of build. Good execution. And we're all tied up. The Russian rush. More than enough against the Phoenix opener. I think Nina was kind of riding off the last game where the Phoenixes were great tools that got a ridiculous amount done and essentially won the game. They do have weaknesses. The weakness being that all they can do when a Nidus Worm is coming into your base is stare at it angrily until something comes out. And that means, like, an Oracle or a Void Ray definitely can, if not kill it, has a much better chance of it. But Phoenixes are never going to, by definition. So Ice and Chrome. Two of my top 50 favorite things. I choked on how stupid that was. I'm sorry. Nina's using the Void Ray banner, by the way. Not sure if that's relevant. With the Adept portrait. Whereas Vanya's using the Lambo portrait with the Hydralisk banner. What does it mean? Probably very little. But just to point that out. Just to talk about something for a moment. That's Celendus, not an adept. I don't speak Protoss. Looks like an adept. But sure, whatever. What? They did it again! I wouldn't even noticed if Twitch chat hadn't pointed it out, so stop watching this live. Now we're red versus blue, apparently. Oh. Red, the color of evil, as we all know. You know what's evil? Probes! Ow, ah. Oh, I'm gonna kill my voice by getting angry at cannon rushes. That probe came in from a very mildly weird angle. Oh god, it's a full... This is a long-winded one. Uh-oh. This is the long-range cannon rush. This is only good at the highest level and the lowest level, where you can take 2 minutes to get there, but once you do, good luck stopping it. Well, Vanya, alright, here we go!
No! God!
Surprise,
no,
motherfucker!
God, please, no! No! No!
How do you like it?
No!
Well, I don't know, maybe he has a great defense. The cannon, they're getting there. They took their time, but how does this play out? Drone's on the way, builds the cannon a little bit further back. I'm not sure why the cancel. I guess we're buying time. For what, though? Are those supposed to be in range of the other cannon? Is that worth the mining time lost? I don't... Oh, that one's in range. Oh, the probe! Murder! Also, there's a weird bug where sometimes when you cancel buildings, it has a huge explosion that's way more than, like, the size of a cannon. This doesn't feel like the way it's supposed to go, though. Drones are not supposed to be able to cancel that many cannons. And now the queens are out, but the cannons are not done. Oh, I get... Well, the cannons are done now. But there's no robo... There's the robo. The Ravagers will come out. I feel like Vanya has plenty of time to defend this. It always kind of feels like that until you don't. Is there a transfuse here? Brenda! Transfuse her! What are you doing? 2 HP queen. No, I'm saving this for the Ravager. Why do you hate Karen so much? Alright, 4 corrosive biles. Trying to break through, but another shield battery! Buying a lot of time. Another round of corrosive biles, though, will make a lot of the difference. Where are the corrosive... There we go. This feels like it's falling apart here. This is not going well. An Immortal's being produced. This feels like it's kind of stopped before it started. There's one more cannon at the back. I don't know if one Immortal's going to solve the problem, though. There's only one pylon here. The Immortal's going to need to be recalled. Nina tries every tactic she's got. And it works. Maybe. If you're going to recall, now's the time. Oh. GG. Well. So. It feels like the long-winded cannon rush took far too long to reach its conclusion. And was interrupted by units existing. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong, but something definitely did. It's not over. It's a best of 5. Vanya says, win macro game easy. and then 2 non-standard lose. Why? Play standard. And then Vanya say, why not macro? You're Protoss. Enjoy win. And Nina said, so hard. Cannon Rush easy, macro hard. Macro hard, Microsoft. 3 minutes. Vanya says 3-minute break. Alright, so now we're going to have plenty of time to dwell on the power of cannon rushes and enjoy casting games live as opposed to from replays. Which means it's time for a quick advertisement, and then we'll be right back to it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you all about the amazing sponsors of the Team eXoN Cup. So, first, tantalizing terrariums. Have you heard of terrariums? Well, they're like pets, except you don't have to take care of them because they're already amazing. Instead of having something more to worry about, have something more to love. Check out tantalizing terrariums today. You can get your own Digimon terrarium. You can get the One Punch Man. And so much more at Instagram.com/tantalizing terrariums. Terrarium spelled like Terra. And also made by Terra. Not a coincidence. And maybe, I don't know what the limitations on custom ones are, but there's only one way to find out. So, tantalizing terrariums. Tantalize yourself today with a terrarium. And that was weird. Anyways. Oh, wait, no, Jimmy! Jimmy! No, go to the other sponsors! And subscribe. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whenever you are, it's time to subscribe with Twitch Prime and Prime Gaming. One of the most exciting ways to give me money. We lost it. Nope, come back. Nope, not. How did we lose it? How does this happen? How is it gone? Just one more, run it again. I don't know. Oh, we're right. Well, check them out today, and also Online Sports Championships and Team eXoN. Thank you. Good night. Welcome back! And make sure to join the OSC Elite Rewards Club for... I like the stock image. SC2 and Hearthstone tournaments. And also you get more points if you spend money, so... Don't miss out! It's 2-1. Nina versus Vanya. Oh my god. They're debating the color switches. Let's set pillars of gold! As we are on match point. Any moment. And if you watch very closely, you will see the Starcraft. That's the best I could come up with. That's all. That's what we had. All right. Will we see a game over 5 minutes long? That seems, well, we're going to Pillars of Gold. It's 2-1. In favor of Vanya. And that's about all the filler I could come up with. So let's go. In the bottom left of Pillars of Gold. Looking less than stellar in the last two less than macro games. As pointed out by her opponent, by the way. Team eXoN's Nina. And in the top right, I think correctly questioning the choice of strategies. And just one game away from stealing this title from the team it's named after. B100 Esports' Vanya. What's the punchline? Predict. Pause. Predict. And... wait.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid. It hurts so much.
These players very good at Starcraft, which takes a singular focus and dedication to the game. Let's put it that way. What is that? Is that a Protoss face? Is that a Protoss with a hand covering its eyes? Or is it a stalk? Oh, you see, the coffee overlord is much better. But it's coffee time. That's the emoji, by the way, so... oh, what? There's a sombrero emoji? Of course there is. We're just throwing them all in to the war chest packs. Why wouldn't there be? I'm just waiting for the players to provide their own commentary, but it looks like it's going to fall to me here. With a Stargate on the way. I think that's 4 out of... wait. Game 1 was also a Stargate opener. Oh. I don't know, but he may have attended Liquipedia, which says he was third place in the Championship of Russia 2020. He was first. I'm not sure if any of these are lands, actually. He's won about $14,000. Not too many premier events on the list, but a lot of smaller ones, probably more online stuff. So the answer is Google it. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure not too much LAN activity there, at least not with significant finishes. But who knows? A lot of players. I think another example is Clem, Clem struggled more than you might expect at offline events, but due to the Defilers and their plague, a lot of players who previously may not have performed as well on offline events, which is an entirely different skill set, really showing, because it's obviously you're sitting wherever you're usually practicing, you're playing from home for the most part, and you don't have nearly the nerves of playing on a stage in front of people on a different setup. So a lot of these players, I think Clem is one of the best examples, really shining in the most comfortable environment. Robotics facility. This is looking a lot more like Game 1. I think Nina, inspired by Vanya's comments on how well she played in Game 1 in that macro match, and has decided to try to replicate that experience. Vanya seems like he's well on the way to doing the same. Are we going to see a Revelation used on Creep, or is it going to be used for tech? There's an Evo chamber back there. A bit. One Oracle goes down. Lair is spotted. It's about to finish, though. It's impossible to tell exactly unless you start it. Let's see it starting or finishing. Oh my god. Okay. Get back on track. Twilight and Forge. Following it up. We're filling in the tech tree here. Infestation Pit. It's not for Swarm House, is it? It feels like that's for Swarm House. Between the Roach speed on the way and the +1 ranged attack. Was the Robo spotted? The Robo was not spotted, but the third base was. Nina's not going to have an opportunity to move out. You could go Hive, but there's nothing Hive will give you that's more effective than Swarm House. Like, Vipers are good, but you don't reach that far that fast for them, as 1 or 2 High Templar, or even a couple Phoenixes, make your life difficult. I think it has to be Swarm House. Yep. 7 Swarm House on the way, so this will be interesting to see. There has not been a spot on the Infestation Pit. Obviously, the Swarm Hosts aren't out, so you can't see them yet. How does Nina deal with this? Double-digit Swarm House. This isn't Nidus. They're just going to walk across the map. But they're more going to scuttle. It's more of a scuttling situation. The Templar Archives timing is spotted. I think Vanya's going to be happy enough to see that. You don't really want to see a Templar Archives, but you'd rather see it unfinished, especially as the Swarm Hosts are popping out. This could just be for an all-out attack. It looks like most of the units are heading towards the 3rd. Some Immortals at the back. There's not that many units here. Now, Swarm Host timing. Has any of this been spotted? And is shield battery overcharged? Well, there you go. The Swarm Hosts are spotted. Charge is not done yet. And if you don't kill the Swarm Hosts themselves, maybe going to try to split off 1 unit. Force Field is used. Isolates. There are Ravagers, though. The Ravager is very important. Oh! Who needs Force Field? What a play! Oh, my! The masterful Bates! Who needs Force Field when you have their Locust? Chases down the rest. The Swarm Host stunned in awe. They don't know where to go. Unfortunately, the force fields work both ways, and there's still enough ground units that, you know, maybe reached a little too far. Brenda, why are you here? I'm sorry, I blacked out. Most of the swarm hosts survived. +1 is done. Another wave coming in, and this one a lot more dangerous. Storm is done. One force field. Ravager Corrosive Bow is gunning through one of those gates. Nina still has plenty of probes, but that could change very quickly if these units break through. How many gates are left over? Just 6. More oracles. Just using whatever you can. The 4th base should start soon. Corrosive Bile. Just trying to force micro back. Good storm. Down goes an Archon. The only Archon. But the swarm hosts aren't dead. And as long as they're alive, those locusts will regrow. The timer continues to tick on that locust cooldown. They're heading towards the natural, while many of the units are pressuring the 3rd. The locusts, oh no, some of the probes now going for the Nexus, trying to get the army, make a decision. The natural is gone. Nina's going straight for the Ravagers. There's a few Templar in the mix there. You got to be careful with those. Vanya, supply is huge. Nina has yet to win an actual fight. She's running out of units. She's running out of splash damage. She's running out of ways to deal with the Ravagers, let alone the Swarm Host. More coming in. The Locust cool down, ticking down. So is the supply. There's not another base to run to. The next Locust wave could be game-ending. And remember, these units are in stasis, and eventually they'll be out. Another Nexus is on the way. It's not done yet. Nina's down to 1 base of mining, which is not really where you want to be. It feels like trying to chase down those swarm hosts may have cost too much from the original Locust play. Down goes an Archon. Some water balloons from the Templar. 20-something probes. 2 Gs. 3 games for Vanya. And 1 Team eXoN Cup. Nina unable to contend with the swarm host timing. Vanya, a good choice, well executed, and comes out on top. Nina not able to put together a defense in time. 3-1. B100 Esports as Vanya will take the lion's share of that esports money. And one more not so offline event. Hopefully you enjoyed. Check out Nina streaming. Dricket, the Team eXoN Cup every Wednesday. Tantalizing terrariums for all your favorite things. It's all the fun of having a pet with none of the responsibility. Online sports championships. And of course the like button. Thank you for watching. Good luck and have fun.